Hey y'all, Ike here again, back with Bad Action, understanding Mark, some bitch. So I've been wanting to do this video for a minute here. I got a buddy of mine, you can see him right over here in the other camera. He's remote, he's got a lot of technology, I didn't even know he could do this. But he told me he could do it, and I was like, well shit, I want to do video like that. So we decided we was going to do video like this. And with him in his other location and me here at my house, I let him pick what we were going to shoot a video about. And he wanted to shoot a video about how
To not make ramen.
to not make ramen. Exactly. So I'd like to introduce to you my buddy Andrew, who's at his house.
Hi, I'm Andrew. We're gonna be talking about how to not eat ramen. Ike, do you eat ramen? If so, how do you make it?
I haven't ate ramen since jail.
And we will talk about that later. So, there's right ways and there's wrong ways to make ramen. There's right ways and there's wrong ways to make ramen. To know how the right way to make ramen is, we gotta know the wrong ways. So first up,
True. You can't do it right until you do it wrong.
yeah. So first up, we have no spice.
No spice, that's number one.
Yeah. Why would you eat it without the flavoring packet? Why? If you wanted to eat plain noodles, you could make some spaghetti noodles and not drain it. Congratulations, you're a disappointment.
You know what? I fostered a kid for a while. He was a good kid. I mean, he wasn't a dipshit or nothing like it. But he always ate his ramen without the spice packets. And I always wondered about that.
He is a disappointment, and there's something wrong with him.
I'm not going to deny that.
So next up, we have too much spice. Come on. If you're eating these regularly, you're already going to have a heart attack by the age of 25. Don't add another flavoring packet. That's a bad idea. And next,
Yeah, because you're going to have to eat one without a flavoring packet.
and that's really
against
bad.
number one already. Right there on the computer.
So, next up, pretty big one, a really emotional one for me. I have a long history with this, especially Ike. Ike does too. Don't eat ramen in prison. Now, next up, we have eggs. I've heard a lot of talk about eggs and ramen. I've tried it. It's not good. I mean, it's not the worst thing of all time.
Wait, so you're like boil the egg when you're making a noodle?
You you crack the egg into it, and then you just cook it with the ramen. It's
Well, yeah, that's boiling an egg into it. But
Yeah.
if you made the ramen and then put like scrambled eggs and I don't know soy sauce on top of it, wouldn't that be a Chinese dish?
yeah. If you didn't have broth, I guess. It's really give or take. Personally, I say no. Don't. Just don't. It's not horrible, but it's not the greatest.
Oh, you're listening to Drunk on a Plane. That's a great song.
Alright, and lastly, we have letting it get mushy. If you do this, you are a disgrace. Nobody loves you. Your family has left you.
And it's
Everybody
harsh.
in your life is... No, it's not harsh. It's letting your ramen get mushy, okay? You have ruined ramen, okay?
You must really like ramen.
I do. I do. I do like ramen, just a tiny bit. But if you do this, you are a disgrace. You are a disappointment, and nobody loves you. Don't undercook your noodles, and by God, don't overcook them. Do you hear me? Don't do it. Don't do it, okay? It's bad. You're bad. I'm disappointed in you for even thinking about that. The nerve.
So those are your top 5 ways to screw up ramen noodle,
Yeah.
huh?
And so now we know how to not make ramen. Let's talk about how I make ramen, because I make ramen just a tiny bit. So, firstly, I take a bowl, crunch the noodles into the bowl, so it's like, you take the bowl and then you push down on it to crunch the noodles. It gives it like a nice mix between tiny and long, so it's not like you're not eating spaghetti in there, but you're also not eating the little noodle bits. So, yeah, that's how I crunch up my noodles, and then I put water in it. And
hey, dude, I'll give you $100 to not bore my audience to death.
Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, like, do all you gotta do, support Ike. Yep. I'm super glad I could have this virtual experience with him. Yeah, technology is amazing.
And I'd like to thank Andrew for doing this remote thing with him at his house, me over here at my house.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great as hell, and I want y'all to remember, I'm Mike the Backwoods Badass, Standard American son of a bitch.
Yeehaw.